So for many years, I worked in working with skincare, skin conditions. So everything from rosacea or irritated, sensitive skin, sensitized skin, which is very different to sensitive, um, acne or breakouts, hormonal changes and fluctuations, obviously the aging of the skin, all of these things and everything in between, eczema, psoriasis. Like, I used to deal with all of these things. And it's so funny because even when I do, when I'm looking online, like everyone, just searching through, I always find it so fascinating how much misunderstanding and misinformation there is about skin. And again, skin is just the part you can see because it is the largest organ in the body. So the skin tells you the health of a person, right? Yes, skincare and youth and a somewhat okay diet, you know what I mean? If you keep drinking and smoking and things like this to a minimum, you can get away with it up to a point. But a person who's trained in this, trained in skin, can always see through it. There are plenty of young people I've seen who, they're big partiers or whatever, and you can kind of see it through the skin. It doesn't have as much of a glow. That's almost always a dead giveaway. If there's like one of the things I like to talk about with alcohol in particular, you kind of get this swollen look. So the skin will often have like a purple reddish sort of hue, even if you're young and your cells are turning over fairly rapidly. There's still redness to the skin. You can kind of see it, and there's this sort of puffy, even like waxy kind of look. It's interesting. It's very specific, but as you get older, you can definitely see it. Smoking is often there's that sort of crepey gray kind of skin where there's like extra wrinkling, like way over the top, and again, no shine, very gray. Reason is the skin is literally starving for oxygen. It creates kind of a barrier where toxins can't get out and healthy oxygen can't get into the skin. So that's just part of it. Obviously, it affects the organs and all kinds of things. It goes much deeper than that. So that's the thing that I thought I would mention, is that there are certain things that lean into health and healthy skin, because of course that's where you can see it, is the skin, and things that lead to unhealth or dishealth, I guess, or disease. And you can see that in the skin also. Now, the reason I was thinking about this is I saw a video before, and like a lot of these videos I've seen, there was a girl talking about how eating sardines is like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get through this, but that it's like skincare in a tin. And then she was going on about how it has omegas, and she was trying to list off all of these vitamins and whatever, and she had no idea what she was talking about. It was obvious. And look, yes, the best skincare is your diet, but it needs to be antioxidants. So you need a good variety of deep leafy greens, especially. These are huge. And a good variety of them, like not just, a couple. Like, you need to eat a lot. It's really, really beneficial to every part of the body. Obviously, your deep colored berries, so strawberries, cherries, like these are going to pack a real punch. But, it's good to have a variety. Lots of different kinds of fruits. Grapes and watermelon, I wouldn't say these are huge. But, if you enjoy them, eat them, right? But they're just not, they don't have as many antioxidants in them as some of the others. That's all. And then obviously, all the different vegetables as well. It's good. Pick the ones that you like, long as you're having a little bit of all the different colors. That's what's important. Obviously, don't force yourself to eat things you don't like, because you're not going to do it, But yeah, you need to get a good variety of these things. This is the only thing that can repair DNA damage. This is the only thing that can give the skin a glow. This is the only thing that can have you be healthy and live a long, healthy life. There is nothing else. I hear all kinds of stuff about, fish and salmon and stuff being for brain health. They really aren't. The reason why people say this is because they've been told omega-3s are higher. Yes, omega-3s are correct. They are good for your brain. So are EPAs and DHAs. And a lot of people think that these only come from fish also, when the reality is it really comes from the sea vegetables. So if you want healthy brain, you need to eat leafy greens and different forms of seaweeds. That's how you get these omega-3s and the other long chain fatty acids, which is, of course, EPA and DHA. That's where you get these, not from fish. Not from fish, because the fish ate the sea material and then their body used it. So you can see it's not the fish that actually has it, it's what the fish ate. So just eat the thing the fish ate. Makes more sense. So this whole concept, it's not going to give you healthy skin. You need to eat fruits and vegetables if you want healthy skin and a healthy body in general. This is where it comes from. This is just how it is. So make that your focus and make sure that you that you understand that's where it comes from. Skincare is also important. So I do talk about that sometimes, not so much here, but you know, I can if that's an interest. But this is another thing I thought I would mention. Definitely, throughout my searching, just looking online like everybody does, sometimes I come across posts where people talk about, you know, how out of control their eczema is, because eczema is it's a problem. In all my years of experience, and I helped a lot of people when they listened to me get rid of it completely. At the end of the day, eczema, it does have kind of an anxious attachment. So again, if you're more of an anxious person, your skin will reflect that. So it's definitely worth finding a way. And again, this is also helped by eating vegetables and fruits as well. But the two biggest drivers for eczema is dairy and gluten. Now, in a lot of cases, people can have a little bit of gluten even if they do have eczema down the track. But in truth, gluten's not good for you anyway, so it's not an issue to cut it out. But definitely these two, if you struggle from issues with eczema, you need to cut out gluten and dairy. And then your skin, you know, well, it's deeper than that. It's the immune system. Your immune system can start to calm down and start to regulate. And then because that's the thing at the end of the day, eczema is just your skin telling you that your immune system is under attack. That's what it is. That's what it is. So you have to get your anxiety and your stress down from a non-physical point of view, and then you need to eat lots of fruits and vegetables and cut out the dairy and the gluten, and then it'll go away. So that's what all these things come down to. Everything with the skin is diet related, just like everything inside of the body is diet related. So if you're not doing the things that are conducive to the skin and the body's health, you're not going to have healthy skin or a healthy body. Now, another thing I thought I would mention while I'm on this, I see a lot of posts where it's mainly women, because again, there's a real push at women looking and staying young. And one of the major things I see a lot is women will put up photos or videos of them, you know, oh, I'm this age and I look so young for my whatever, right? Now, most of the time, these women have had fillers. I feel like there's a hair. Yeah, found it. They use fillers and they use filters. So they're not actually looking like what they really do, because most people, you know, aren't living the way that we're supposed to. In the modern day, it can be challenging. I don't dispute that, but I always find that really funny, because it's like, well, you're not even really telling the truth. And so there's this other concept I thought I would talk about as well, now that I've just thought of it. One of the other things I see that's really funny is there's this push to be young, right? But, I mean, just because you're young doesn't mean you're attractive. I see loads of people who, you know, young people they notoriously don't take care of themselves. And so you can see that, you know, they're eating 2-minute noodles and drinking energy drinks. Like, that's not healthy. So that's what's really interesting, is there's this kind of infallible sort of view when we're young. And I was guilty of it myself. there's this whole view that, I'm this age, I'm always going to look like this, I'm infallible. But as you start to get a bit older, you start to take, well, you should. It'd be better if we did when we were younger too, but we start to take a bit better care of ourselves because we can sense we're getting older, right? Like some part of our life is behind us now and we're going forward. And that's where all the fear of aging really comes in, is the fear of death, the fear that this is the only life we live. And that's not the truth. I mean, yes, it's the truth for this body, but you come back in another one. You've come back before, you'll come back again. So there's really no reason to be afraid of it. And once again, in terms of a superficial point of view, which of course superficial still goes deeper, when it comes to true health, all you have to do is just take care of the body that you have for this life, and then that should help you with the others too. That's what's great about it. And all these things that people do that are really bad for the body and for the skin, they're all related. And they make you feel bad in every avenue. Like, drinking alcohol, there's no benefits to it. Makes you feel bad, makes you look bad, and it shortens your lifespan. What's the point? And it makes things, the reason that you drink is to supposedly switch off. That makes your life harder. So you feel like you have to continuously use the drink again. When the reality is, the reason why it's hard to begin with is because you're drinking. So it's like a, dog chasing its tail. Stop, right? Stop. When it comes to drugs, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You take the drugs to switch off, but the reason you have problems in the first place is because of the drugs. It's the same with eating animal products. You eat animal products because, well, most people are addicted, just like with the other things I mentioned. But once again, the whole, I have to remember because it's been a while, but the heavy feeling after you eat, that's from eating animal products because it's too high of fat. So it makes you feel tired and sluggish. You don't feel like that when you cut them out. You don't feel like that after a meal. You never feel like that. Heavy and sluggish. No. The sinus problems are related to dairy. So if you cut dairy out, you don't have to worry about that anymore. Or very rarely. It's only if you get a bit cheeky and you're not taking care of yourself, it can happen. But it won't be like it was when you were on dairy. Things like headaches and migraines and all that, these are all made worse by animal products. So yeah, the very thing people are eating 3 and up days, a day I should say, 3 to 6 meals or whatever people are eating a day, these are what contribute to why you don't feel well, why you're feeling sick and why you're unhappy and all the rest of it. And again, it's a cycle. You eat it. And again, there's a lot of people who use food as like an emotional crutch. So you eat because you're unhappy, and because you ate so much, you're unhappy again, and then you eat some more to feel happy, but then you're unhappy again. And the cycle continues. A lot of this stuff is shame related or trauma related. Sometimes it can be something happened as a child, and so now you use food as a way to comfort yourself, whatever. Like, it gets very mentally and emotionally intertwined when it comes to food. So it's about that understanding, and know that these things also make the skin not in its best condition. They affect the hormones in your body. Like, it just, so all these types of things, female, so endometriosis and I forgot what the other one, there's a whole bunch of them, but these ones are all related to eating animal products, especially the high amounts of estrogen in dairy, because it makes your body think you have more estrogen than what you're supposed to. So that leads to hormonal problems. Yeah. So again, all of these things, the problem is in the self-destructive negative compound that you're consuming, whether it's substances or food or, I mean, I don't think of animal products as food personally, but again, it's these awarenesses. So again, if you want to have the healthiest body you can have and the healthiest skin you can have, and you want to have that for your most of your life, these are all things you have to cut out. So like I said, I do have a health reading where I could look at the health related placements in your chart. I could do like an attraction reading again for you to understand what makes you attractive, so you can lean more into that and lean away from the things that are self-destructive. all kinds of things. Self-love, raising self-love is another one. So the more you love yourself, the more you want to take care of your body and your skin. So it's these types of understandings. So if that's something you want me to help you with, by all means, reach out. I give this sort of information not to make anyone feel bad. It's not to shame anyone. It's simply the awareness for actual researched, studied stuff that works. So not just from my own personal professional background, which of course, when you deal with skin, you have to know health. You have to know nutrition. And again, that leads to the inside of the body as well. So I'm simply just sharing that information to those who want it and who want to improve, to feel better, to look better, all the rest of it. So yeah, just reach out, and otherwise I'll see you for next videos.